What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Super Master back with episode 13 of the Coach Baker Dynasty series. He's got these boys primed and ready to go, trying to make it 2 Big Ten championships back-to-back, as well as 2 straight trips to the Natty. Do me a huge favor, if you haven't already, hit that like, hit that subscribe, and without further ado, let's get into it. Just as promised, kicking off conference championship week with the big twist, we're not going to be able to play this game as we've already played Nebraska once this year and beat them. I don't want to double dip on them. We're just going to leave this up to fate. I feel like it adds another level of realism to the game. Let's see how it plays out. What a big victory, 38-35 for Nick Sipe. The Boilermakers are headed to their second straight national title game. Coach Baker's dubbed the best assistant coach in college football as he brings the Broyles Award back to West Lafayette. What an accomplishment for him, just more brass to add to the trophy case. With only 2 undefeated teams in all the land, we've got Tulsa coming in for the national championship game. Herbstreit's going with the underdog in this one. We gotta go out of our way to prove him wrong, as it just reflects badly on the coaching staff along with the school if we didn't win at least one of these ships. Tulsa draws first blood in this one as we go 3 and out on our first offensive possession, giving them a chance to take the lead. We get our second chance on offense about halfway through the first quarter, and Nick Sipe is determined to get this ball into his receiver's hands and hand it off to the running back. That way they can work their magic and get us down the field into scoring position. Just outside the 20-yard line, Nick Sipe drops back and finds Jared Sparks on a nasty curl route where he's able to get us inside the 5-yard line. After a good stand on first down, Nick Sipe pulls it on the read option, takes off scrambling around the end for a 5-yard touchdown run, tying us at 7. Our defense forces a stop their next time out, opening the door for us to come out on offense and finally take the lead. Nick Sipe comes out and fires a big long pass on that first down, but on the second one, he fires another big long one right to the defense. Cornerback Ollie Green makes a move on the ball and takes it all the way back for a pick 6. Tulsa misses the field goal, makes the score 13-7. Coach Baker pulls his guys aside and says, "What's the matter, fellas? We look flat-footed. Did you not think they'd show up to play the biggest game of the year? If you don't want to repeat of last year, we've got to regain the momentum on this drive with a score." With only about a minute to go in the first quarter, our offense finally starts to take form and look like themselves again. Nick Sipe takes off around the right side, scrambling for a 14-yard gain, getting us a first down. Long dong Nick Sipe even begins to show flashes of talent we haven't seen from him all year. Look at him break a tackle, scramble outside the pocket, find his open receiver for a 10-yard pickup. Even Horvath decides to get in on some of the head busting as he breaks a few tackles and gets downfield with the baddest intentions, getting us another first down and setting up a Rondale Moore 18-yard touchdown as he breaks a tackle and gets us into the end zone. Our defense isn't able to keep Tulsa off the scoreboard their next time out, giving us a score of 20-14 with just over 4 minutes to go in the first half. Sipe has a chance to regain the lead for the Boilermakers. He's finding his receivers standing wide open, and sometimes they're not even wide open, but he makes a perfect throw to get us a first down. Horvath gets the call on a 2nd and 10 and does not disappoint as he rips off a 19-yard gain, getting us inside the 25-yard line and setting up this pass to Sparks, where we're able to move the chains again after Sipe connects with Rondale on this 11-yard, 12-yard pass, getting us to the 2-yard line and setting up a Darius Pittman touchdown. The Boilermakers regain the lead by 1 point. The defense led by Derek Barnes and Kenneth Major get a quick stop on their next possession out, giving our offense about 2.5 minutes to get into the end zone just before halftime. So far, this game's been a lot of back and forth. Neither team have been able to separate themselves. Even though Purdue comes from a big conference, it just goes to speak on how talented this Tulsa team is. Sipe looks to more off the play action, but he ends up finding Reeves, and it looks like he could take it all the way. Look at him run. He's running down the sideline inside the 10, gets shoved out of bounds about the 8-yard line, and Tulsa's able to punch it in the end zone on that short trip they had. 27-21. We've got about a minute to go in the first half. Coach Baker wants to get his guys in the end zone and keep that momentum at least even. Typically, with under a minute to go in the first half, you'd see coaches trying to throw the ball, but Coach Baker knows that it's safer to run the ball at this point. Sipe's throwing a couple interceptions, and look at him throw this one out to Moore, and he puts the cornerback in a blender, picking up 20 yards for us, moving the ball inside the 25-yard line where Sipe finds Pittman, getting us down to the 5 or the 6. 17 ticks remain on the clock, and Horvath can't get us across the goal line. We've got 3 timeouts, had to burn one of them there because Anderson gets us in on that next handoff. 3 yards out, he makes the score 28-27. Tulsa takes the opening kickoff of the second half and isn't able to do much other than just burn about a minute off the clock. Our offense comes out and is not having a single problem moving the ball. Horvath breaks a couple tackles and converts on that first down, moving the chains again, and then Sipe fires the deepest, longest pass he's ever thrown in his career to Jackson Anthrop, moving the chains and getting us across the 50-yard line. Sipe is able to find Moore on a quick slant late in his route, picking up a huge 21-yard pickup, setting us up with a 1st and goal where Coach Baker calls Horvath's number, but he gets stuffed about the 2-yard line.
You know what's coming.
Coach Baker dials up his favorite red zone play. Rondale Moore breaks free for a second touchdown of the game. We've got a score of 35-27, but Tulsa answers back just like they have all game long. The coaching strategy changes just a little bit for Purdue as we get into the 4th quarter, and with Tulsa being able to answer every time we score, we're going to try to play the game of attrition. It's that time of the game where the offensive lineman and the running back are just going to be able to eat. We're going to get across the 50-yard line, get on their side of the field, and just let them eat. Look at these boys trying to clear holes for Horvath, trying to seal this game up in the last couple minutes of the game. Tulsa's defense begins to realize the gravity of this situation as they're able to put the clamps down on us. We get in a 3rd and 6 situation, and thankfully Darius Pittman comes through. He moves the chains for us, keeping that clock going. That keeps Tulsa's offense on the sideline, unable to put up any points on us. Like I was saying earlier, our defense hasn't really been able to stop them. If it weren't for a missed field goal and a failed 2-point conversion, this would be a tie game, and we would be trying to punch it in the end zone. Horvath takes the last carry of the game and is able to drain the clock out. We don't even have to run another play after that. The Boilermakers win their first national title in school history as they beat Tulsa 35-33. Nick Sipe walks away with player of the game. The players and coaches are up on stage, ready to give their speeches and receive the greatest trophy in college football, the Coach's Trophy, baby. We are bringing it back. The newspapers are out. Everybody's just loving the confetti. Rondale Moore breaks another one of John Standiford's receiving records, becoming the only receiver in school history to eclipse the 4,000-yard mark in his career. After another exceptional year from Coach Baker, Purdue wants him to sign another extension for another 5 years, but remember, he was looking for the door last season. Let's get over to that coaching carousel and see who's going to have a better offer. We receive calls from schools such as Ole Miss, Georgia Tech, and even Pittsburgh. They want us to replace the all-time famous coach of Pat Narduzzi. Troy comes knocking with a head coaching gig, but Coach Baker's got to turn them down as they just don't have the size of stadium we're looking for. They're in the right location, they're not in a Power 5 conference, but how can we expect the best recruits in the country to only want to play in front of 20 or 30,000 fans? And the ULM Warhawks are about in the same boat as Troy. They're close, but just not good enough. So that means Coach Baker's going to end up staying at Purdue for at least one more season. Just like in real life, the NFL wants Derek Barnes to join their ranks. He's projected to go in the 2nd round. We'll jump over to see who's transferring into Purdue this year. Freshman Brian Sands, a strong safety, is going to be joining us from Western Michigan. Advancing forward to that off-season recruiting, we're going to apply $1,500 to Kevin Higgins here, and then we're also going to stick Joe Clay with $4,500 as well as Noah Dykes with $4,500. We really need to beef up that linebacking core after we lost a couple guys to the NFL. Coach Baker also needs to fill some holes in that tight end room, so we're going to apply $3,350 to Keith Thomas. After the dust settles and off-season recruiting comes to an end, we see that Purdue finishes out at 14th best recruiting class in the nation. We've really been able to step up Purdue's recruiting game, which is translated to wins on the field. This brings us to the end of episode 13. I'd like to take just a second and thank the 50+ subscribers and counting. I never thought I'd see 50 subscribers, and baby, we're still climbing. Puts a smile on my face. Keep it coming. If you're new here or like what you see, haven't already subscribed, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. We'll see you back for episode 14.